Hey traders, John Howell here. We're going to be looking at the stock market, a bit of an update on the stock market, a bit of an update on silver and gold as well too. Plus also I want to talk about Warren Buffett. Is he saying that he's predicting, that's what some articles resources have been saying over the last month, that he's predicting another worse situation than we're actually experiencing right now when it comes to the cough situation. So I want to talk to you about my thoughts about that and the big macro picture of where we are right now in our lives, and some important things I think we should be focusing on moving forward. Let's go straight into it. Don't place a trade based on what you'll see in this video, because there is no guarantees of making a profit in the market. It takes you a long time to become a good trader. So this video here is just to educate you to become a much better trader. All right, traders, before I do start, this whole video is sponsored by me. And I'm giving away my trading course for free. So if you're struggling with, you're losing money, you need the foundations, or you need this trading course. You want to learn chart reading strategies. Phase number 2, phase number 3 is my trading system, and phase number 4. There's about 10 hours worth of training here, guys, and I'm giving it all away for free just to help you out. So go to johnsfreegift.com, or there should be a link in the description. Now let's actually get into the markets, and I want to get into the Warren Buffett story that I heard just recently. Now, let's actually go to the stock market, and we'll see what's going on here. So firstly, on the good old stock market, we had a bit of an open high, came down, and we closed lower. But you can see we're still stuck in this overall sort of sideways consolidation level. We're not really doing much here. So the interesting thing is that we can see, again, really not doing much. Do we break up and out from here, or do we actually start the backing pattern and start to actually have a bit of a pullback? It's really hard to say here. We look at that's the Dow Jones, the S&P 500. We're actually still holding here quite strongly on the S&P 500. Let's actually go to the last 3 months. You can see here that the S&P 500 today just had a little down day. Really, again, but still stuck in this overall flag formation that we've actually been in. You can see we had this move up, which is the flagpole, and then we've had this sideways movement on the side here, and now if we do start to break up, it's going to be interesting to see whether we do. If we do start to break above this high here, we start to make another run to, or we start to make another new high move, then it does look like we're about to see a move to the 4,550 level. So if we do start to break out of this sort of flag formation, that's where we're probably likely to go to. And the good old same for the Nasdaq as well too. The Nasdaq has been, again, developing this bull flag. Nasdaq's actually had a green day today, slightly green for the markets here. And you can see a bit of a slight update today when it comes to the Nasdaq. So once again, if we do start to break above and we start to make a move to new highs, then I see on a short-term basis this flag formation, the projection is around the 15,200 level on there. Now, the really interesting thing about this is this. Let me actually share something with you when it comes to the good old trading view here, because I've got a trading view. One thing that I'm still keeping an eye for, right? So you got small picture and you got big picture. So the small picture is like, okay, what's happening here? There's a bull flag. Are we going to break out? So on and so forth. All right. So that's the small picture. The big picture says that we are still stuck in this overall sort of massive wedgie, right? That's right, it's a wedgie, just like they used to give me in school. Man, they hurt, don't they? Snap goes my undies. Not anymore. Bring it on, mate. Don't they realize I've just finished doing my very first boxing fight, and I won for a reason? Kick your ass, mate. Come and give me a wedgie. And so the really interesting thing is, it's really hard to see where we're at right now, but do we actually, if we break out of this wedgie, then the wedgie is telling us that is actually pretty far way down, a bit of a pullback. If we start to break to the downside, this is looking scary. It's a long way down if we break to the downside. Now, are we in this overall melting up phase? And if we are, then you know what? We're probably likely to break up here. And then we're likely to make a move up to Alot. Again, that at 5,000 level is where I see this thing going by the end of the year. And in fact, I got a 5,400 by the end of the year. But the first thing is like, are we about to see a break out of this wedgie? And then we start to make a move up from there. Leave a comment below. Leave a comment in the section. Leave a comment in the comment section below. And man, I can't talk today. So, and let me know what you think. Do you think we're just going to continue this melting up phase? I personally think we are, because nothing has really changed fundamentally, and there's so much more liquidity on the sidelines coming into these markets. So I don't see us having too much of a pullback, but I could be wrong. So let's actually move this over to here, and let's actually go look at the gold and silver markets. Look at the gold and silver markets. Gold. What is going on with gold? Look at this here. This is gold. We're still just squeezing up. Gold has been doing absolutely nothing. Nada. Zilch. So we're getting very, very, very close. They say when you see, man, I'm tongue twister. They say when they're seeing the tongue twister to twine. Tongue twist. That's a tongue twister because it's tied. Tied tongue twister. Man. Tied tongue. All right, I'm going to stop there. They say that when you have triangle patterns, it's around about 80%, which is probably where we're close to right now. 80% of the triangle pattern is where we actually start to see some strong breakouts. So are we about to see something on the horizon about what's going on right now? So we can see what's going on here. Again, this is roughly about 20% left of this triangle pattern. It means this is the 80% here. And so we generally start to see a big breakout other way. So it's going to be interesting. Do we actually see a break up? Do we see a breakdown? What's going on there? And also same for silver. Silver hasn't been doing anything, but on the absolute short-term basis, you can see what happened with silver today. Silver actually rallied up, came all the way back down and closed lower. So we're still getting this downward trend now on silver. We have this high, move up, lower high, and now we're coming back down, come back up. This could be another lower high before we start to see a move back down on there. So that's what I'm seeing through there, guys. Overall, there is, just remember, guys, too, that there's plenty of opportunities. All the volatility in the stock market is amazing. And through that volatility, creates a lot of amazing opportunities if you know what to look for. So just make sure, again, in that trading course that I'm giving away, this free trading course, you can see here phase number 3 here. This phase number 3, I actually walk you through my trading system and what I actually look for every single day when I'm trading the markets. Because I don't gamble. If you're just saying, oh, I'm going to get in now because it looks like a good idea, or I think it's a good idea, or I hope it's a good idea, or this video says it's a good idea, like if you're getting in just based on a tip, then you're never going to be successful long term, because that's not how trading really works. But there are some amazing opportunities out there if you know how to trade the markets. Okay, so but just don't try to be right every single trade, and sometimes you're going to have losing trades if you are following a system. Now let's actually move on to here. So I saw some articles just recently when it comes to Warren Buffett and all that sort of down home country goodness here. So let's take a look at this here. I first heard it from Martin Armstrong, his blog, and you can see here that this right here, it says Buffett predicts another pandemic. Obviously it's a private blog, but it says Buffett predicts another pandemic through here. And we can see on this article here, coming into you from Entrepreneur, Asia Pacific, billionaire Warren Buffett predicts new pandemic worse than that one there. I'm not sure if I can say that on the good old tube, so I'm not going to say it. The American billionaire Warren Buffett, known as the Oracle of Mahama, I can't even say that word, is sure that in the future a new situation will come that will be worse than what is going on right now. Because despite the lessons that this experience has left us, people would not have prepared to face it either. And he says here that we all know that there is a nuclear, chemical, biological, and now cyber threat. Each of them have dire possibilities. Buffett said, it doesn't seem like it's something that society is fully prepared to deal with, he added. So this is actually quite like, okay, is this a bit of a test run to see that then the real thing's coming next year? Is that what's happening? Or is it like, the thing is the thing going to end and so on and so forth? All right. So leave a comment below. Let me know what you think there. That's actually quite interesting to see that when it comes to those articles and what Warren Buffett is saying there. Now, I want to give you we always want to look for hope, right? Because even though in bad situations, and I can do the same thing, right? We can go down this rabbit hole of looking at the negative situations in our lives, and just always looking at, oh, this is bad, this is bad, this is bad, this is bad. If it's so important sometimes to always look for the hope in anything, right? Because how do you actually truly move forward in life? You only really move forward by grabbing onto some hope that life's going to be better, and then running with that. Even if that's not true, we need to continue to look at life as it is, but continue to look for the future, for the hope, right? Because that's what picks you up. Just like when you first start trading, guess what's going to happen? You are going to get smacked around. You're going to take trades because you think it's a good idea, or you hope it's a good idea. You're not going to stick to a plan. You're going to make a lot of mistakes. You're going to put on too much risk. You're probably going to blow up a few trading accounts. That's what's going to happen when you first start trading. But what gets you the 3%ers like me who stuck around through all that bullshit that especially I went through my first 5 years. I went through all that. I call it bullshit because I actually created the bullshit, right? I did that. And I lost $250,000 in my first, 3, 4, 5 years, somewhere about there. By doing that. But what actually got me out of that and to come back again, even though I had everyone around me saying, you're an idiot, what are you doing that for? So on and so forth. I'd come back again because I knew that there is still hope for me to get this right. I just need to become better. Not that the market was manipulated or this or that or this or that or blah, 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 blah. Point the finger. No, I realized that I could keep making excuses or I could get results, but I can't have both. So then I had to stop making excuses. Then I had to start saying, okay, then what am I doing right? And what am I doing wrong that's actually causing this, right? Because if I truly want to get ahead in life, it's really up to me. It's not anyone else. It's not the government. They're not going to come support me. It's not anyone else. They're not going to come and, hold my hand and say, here's your bot, and so on and so forth. Well, my mum did when I was 2, but 3, when I was 3 years of age, she told me to get up on my feet and go work. Go out to the gardens. That's actually a joke, guys. She didn't do that. But so what happens there is that right, we don't look into some hope. We don't look into something in the future, right? Because that's the only thing that's going to keep pulling us up in the darkest moments, and we're all going to go through those dark periods. I went through that in 2008, 2009 when I had stage 3 lymphatic cancer, and the doctor gave me 6 months to live. My ex-wife was right there with me at the time when the doctor gave me that. And he said, we need to get you in the hospital right now. We need to start the radiation. We need to start the chemo. We need to start to do all that sort of stuff because this is really, really bad. You have 6 months to live. And I said, no. And then I removed myself. I didn't do any treatments. I got a biopsy done to see what was going on with my lymphatic system. And I removed it naturally. And I'm still here to this day. I'm not going to go into it. If you're sick, if you're not well, go to the doctor. Go see your doctor. You just go do that. I'm not going to tell you what to do. Because it's just, you make your own decisions with your own life. That was my decision because I did a lot of research about the body and so on and so forth. So that was my decision there, right? But the reason why I did do that and the reason why I did that, because I hooked onto the hope that or not the hope, but the vision of that life's going to be better. Life is going to get better, but I need to become better too, right? I can't just hope for something to get better, but then it's like, okay, life's going to be amazing. I just need to keep getting better at this thing. I need to keep making sure that I'm armoring myself with my daily actions, my daily discipline, my daily psychology, strengthening the mind, strengthening the body, strengthening the soul, strengthening the spirit. So when we do go through those winter periods, which they inevitably happen, which is happening right now, we are strengthening with that. But as you're going through that strengthening process, you don't just sit back there and say, well, I hope things get better in the future, and you do nothing. Like, come on, get off your ass and actually do something. So it's always important that, yes, there's a lot of stuff going on right now. Do you not get the vaccine? Do you get the vaccine? What's going on and the lockdowns and the shutdowns? Like, trust me, guys, I'm in Sydney, Australia right now. That's actually where I live. And guess what? We are going through a major lockdowns. It's the police and the boys in the green and all that sort of stuff are happening on the streets and so on and so forth, right? And they're pushing us to get the vaccine and so on and so forth, right? There's a lot of fighting and stuff going on. But here's the thing: it's so important that yes, we're going through a bit of a hard time right now, and yes, this is a crazy time. Because if you look at it, but if you actually look through life in cycles in life, periods of peace become periods of anxiety, conflict, wars, basically, right? And then we go through a period of peace again. Fortunately, when we look at it, right, over the last 20, 30 years, we really have had a period of peace, apart from every now and then, which is really interesting if you actually think about it, right? It seems like the start of every decade, something actually happens in our life. 2001, right? 2001 was obviously, 9/11. Was that right? 9/11? I think it was. And am I right there? Let me just pause that. Yeah. I just had a mental blank there. So right, so 2001, and then we had that, and then we had, it was the 2008, 9, 10 debacle and so on and so forth. Now we've got the 2000. Right, every decade there's actually seemed to be something in our life. Right, but we really have had a period of progress, productivity, a lot of freedoms and so on and so forth when it comes to our lives here. So what we're going through right now is we're going through a winter season, but it's so important to not think about like this is how life is going to be forever, because through life is that we go through these cycles, right? We go through our summer periods and our spring periods and our summer periods. And the things are blossoming, things are doing well. Even though the conflict has been happening for the last 10 years, ever since 2010 or 2008, 2009, right, when we got bailed out, we've had a pretty amazing life. You think about it. We've had jobs and opportunities and growth and technology and so on and so forth. Things have been pretty amazing. And we have done for a very long time due to the fact of the printing press and so on and so forth, right? So, but what we're going through right now is what we call the winter season, right? Things are not looking good. But if we're so stuck in the moment, if we're actually so stuck in the moment of this is always going to be, we're never going to prepare ourselves for when the spring and summer period comes, and it will come. Nothing stays the same forever. And if we keep saying this is the new normal, this is the new normal, this is the new normal, then you're just disempowering yourself to do something about your life, because even in the new normal, there's always opportunities to kick ass, take names, kiss babies, and send a balloon in the sky. You know what I'm saying there, guys? So no, this situation right now is not the ideal situation, and it may get a lot worse. I don't know. This is the second wave right now, and the second wave, the variant wave, is always the worst wave. If you go back and look at the 1918 or 1918, 1919, 100 years ago, literally 100 years ago, you'll be able to see that's what happened as well too. And then these virus situations, what happened is that they come and then they go away really, really quickly. And even with the really severe ones like the 1918, 1919, and so on situation, you see these things, they come, they go, and then they come again, and that's really, 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 really severe. And then they disappear, right? And they last on average around 18 months. Some last around 12 months, and the highest around 18, even on the high end, a couple of years, right? On the high end, a couple of years. So the second wave we're getting right now, when it comes around to the whole world, that's the reason why things are getting a lot worse right now, because it's the second wave. The second wave is always the worst in these situations in history. But it's so important. This is what we're doing right now. But it's so important that we continue to say, okay, then this is what's happening right now, but it's not going to be a life forever. And I need to continue to work on myself and continue to build myself and continue to do the foundations, can do whatever I can, both on my business, for my finances and my health, to make sure, and my mind, to make sure that I am strong, that I am ready to go, so I can take life on no matter what life throws at me. You want to lock me down, you want to shut me down, you want to do this, COVID wants to start to hit me, vaccines, whatever, right? It's so important that we continue to build ourselves so we are prepared to take on whatever life takes at us. If the COVID wants to come, if the COVID wants to start to come and start to hit us, so to speak, well, guess what? It's so important that we have this strong, really robust immune system, and we learn how to do that by keeping our immune system strong. So if we do get it, it won't be bad because our immune system is so strong. Because the only reason why, if we have a look at viruses and situations, the only reason why it hits us quite strongly is because our immune system is suppressed at that time, whether it's via stress or lack of sleep, or there's a lot of acidic buildup in our body from the food choices, or maybe exercising too much. There's a lot of things we can do that's causing a lot of acidic in our body, which is suppressing the immune system. So therefore, when the disease comes to us, when the disease does come to us, it's going to affect us a lot harder because of that. But if we are in the moment of this situation, if we are doing whatever we can to every single day, like having a glass of lemon water first thing in the morning on an empty stomach, having some vitamin C, vitamin D, sweating as well too, going for walks and just and releasing these toxins, doing this sort of stuff releases it, keep the lymphatic system going so we can continue to keep this immune system strong. Having some green drinks as well too, right? Wheat grass and barley grass and all that sort of stuff as well too. Basically a green drink, and having that every day, like these things are going to keep our immune system strong. And so when it keeps our immune system strong, what's going to happen is that, yes, if it does come, we're not likely to be affected by it. So we're doing what we can right now to strengthen our body, because the winter season we're in right now is not going to be winter forever. Nothing lasts forever. And if you think that, you're stop being a little bitch, basically. Stop being a little bitch, because if you're serious, life is going to be amazing after this. Now, after this, I don't know how long that after this is going to last, but we're in a winter season right now. Spring is just around the corner, whether that's 3 months, 6 months, 12 months, I don't know. But spring is around the corner, then there's going to be summer, and things are going to be booming. And the people who are going to succeed financially are those who have worked their asses off to make sure that they're doing the right thing via your company or via you looking at the investing and doing the trading thing right. But we must be always continue to say, okay, then am I actually making progress to doing well out of the markets? Or am I just keep doing the same shit over and over again? Because if you keep doing the same shit over and over again, keep pointing the finger at everyone, but you're not doing well guess what? If you choose to not look at what you're doing that's creating your results in your life, then you've chosen to continue to get that, right? If you choose to not work on yourself every day when it comes to, even when you're trading, well, then you've chosen to not be a better trader tomorrow. And when you've chosen that, you've chosen to be broke tomorrow, because I guarantee you that's where you're going to head down. But when you choose to say, okay, then what am I doing right here? What am I doing wrong? Am I even following a plan? Do I even know what I'm looking for to set up? Am I risking too much in every trade? Am I trying to make money every trade? Because that's not how trading works. And all these different things that go into, again, in my free trading course, especially in basically all through it, from the foundations to the module phase number 4, I talk a lot about this stuff in that course there, right? About what we need to do to start moving forward. But if you choose to not continue to say, okay, what am I doing wrong? What am I doing right? What do I need to keep getting better at to make sure I'm actually wanting to actually get in this? Then you've chosen to be broke tomorrow. And if you've chosen that, then don't be a little whiny bitch to me because you're losing all this money because you risk too much, because that's not how trading works. You're just throwing something because a YouTube video said something, but that's not how successful trading works, and so on and so forth. So life is amazing, and even in the moment of things, we only can do what we can do. And what we can do in this very moment is 2 things. 1, know that life goes through cycles. So there is a better future ahead of us. And secondly, there's things that we can continue to do to give ourselves the best chance to thrive financially and thrive health-wise as well too. So no matter what life and governments and situations are going to throw at us, we can sit there and we can take it on no matter what. We can arm ourselves with the health to give ourselves the best chance that no matter what happens with us, whether it is the vaccine or whether it is something else that may come our way, that we are strong enough mentally, physically, and emotionally to take this thing on no matter what, because the survivors on the other side are going to prosper, especially you guys that sit there. As the people that go through the winter periods, and so many people in trading, this is what you do. You start a trading system, you buy a trading course, it doesn't work for you, you go through a bit of a losing trade, you go through a little bit of a losing process, and then you quit. This trading's not for me. No, you're just going through a winter period. And guess what? Those who succeed at anything, they stick through that winter period and they say, okay, what am I doing wrong? What am I doing right? What's working? What do I need to stop doing? What do I need to keep doing? What do I need to keep expanding on? And that's how you, guess what? That's how you get through the winter season, and then suddenly you start to become successful on the other side. Because guess what? At the end of the day, there is hope on the other side of this. Right now, the world is in craziness, yes. But you and I have a choice. You and I have a choice right now to sit down and say, you know what? There is hope on the other side of this. I don't know how long that's going to be, but I have a choice of what I want to do and what's going on right now with me personally. And I have a choice to continue to hold on to that hope that spring is just around the corner, And I need to do whatever I can to make sure that I'm building myself up physically, emotionally, spiritually, my health wise, and do whatever I can to make sure that when the spring does come around and when spring does happen, right? Or maybe we're just entering into the winter season. We're going to see one of the biggest crashes or whatever, right? No matter what happens in us, that life goes through cycles. We go through spring and summer periods, and then suddenly we go through the winter, right? And the winter period is a hard period. And so many people, unfortunately, we look at the very moment, but we look at the very moment and we always think life's always going to be like this because we're so stuck in the moment right now. Instead of saying, no, life is like this right now. But 12 months from now, I'm going to be in such much better place because I'm going to do this every single day, regardless of what everyone else is happening, whatever's happening around there, you know, in the red and blue screens and, you know, the flashing warning signs and all that sort of stuff. I'm going to do whatever. I'm going to prepare myself because life is change and nothing stays the same. The water goes out, the water comes in, right? And it's like, what are you doing? If you look outside all the time, right? If you're looking outside, if you have a house, right, and you go to the kitchen, and you maybe at your kitchen, you know, back when I was growing up, we used to have a kitchen, and we used to have all these windows looking out to the backyard, and we had the clothes on and so on and so forth, right? So, but if you're looking at that looking through the kitchen, but looking out to the backyard, but you're seeing say clothes on the line, but your window, your filter that you're looking at that backyard, you're like, why are the clothes always dirty? I just cannot wash these clothes properly, right? But then suddenly you wake up, you're like, oh my goodness, oh my goodness, all the clothes just seem to be sparkling clean. And then your partner says, yeah, I cleaned the window, right? Always keep an eye on the filter that we're actually looking through life and also keep an eye on the big picture. Because when we're in the winter moments, we need to dig deep and stay strong and continue to keep going and keep going. Even when things don't seem to be working out, keep going, because it's that pushing and pushing and pushing amongst that situation that's happening in life that because we can see, yes, this moment is happening right now, but life is change and we go through these things in our life all the time. We go through winter periods in our trading. We all do it, right? We go through times where things are not doing well, then we go through the summer periods as well too. Things go like that, cycles again and again and again. We're going through a winter period right now. I don't know how long this winter period's going to last, but on the other side of this is going to be spring and summer. So we need to keep digging down to make sure that we are armored with everything we need to do to make sure that we're taking this life on. So no matter what happens in our life, physically, emotionally, spiritually, that we are armored with the right tools and we are so strong to take on no matter what life's ahead of us. So when summer does come here, and it will come here again, nothing stays the same. We are now riding along and we are well prepared and we're positioned to benefit from that amazing wave that is coming. And I'll speak to you guys real soon.